So, Rabbi Nissan Alpert says on Parshas Tazria that it takes a great person, Adam, it's called Adam when it's a great person, to admit his shortcomings and appear in front of the Kohen, the priest, to be examined for leprosy. One doesn't lose the appellation, name, or title Adam by sinning, for no one is perfect. On the contrary, by not seeking to correct his shortcomings, one loses the title. So we have to correct, not there's nothing wrong with admitting that we made a mistake, but if you don't try to correct it, then you lose the title. The Talmud Yerushalmi in Chagigah 1:8 says, "What is the greatness of an Adam? Gadol, a great person. Gadol, great, or big, the big person. What's so great about it? Someone who's the bigger person, that he's not embarrassed to say he doesn't know." And Lubavitcher Rebbe says that by acknowledging the Torah as the sole possible basis for the true ethical behavior and moral justice, the non-Jewish world will come to recognize and appreciate the Jewish people as a group of people leading the way in a new developmental idea as the vanguards of universal justice, morality, and peace. This will pave the way for the ultimate messianic redemption. So, just to pause there for a second to really register that, the Jews, like from Hebrew, then Yisrael, right, the Israelites, so these are, don't worship any, medium or intermediary. This will come up again in the future when I'm reading for us. So, Rabbi Nachman, the grandson of Baal Shem Tov, great-grandson, says in Sefer Hamiddot, the book of measures, or the book of, traits, characteristics, that repairing the body comes before repairing the soul. One who cries and mourns over a kosher man is forgiven for all his sins. The following do not see the face, the presence of hell: those in extreme poverty, those with stomach illness, someone who has creditors, someone who has a burden or pressure of persecution, and of the sovereignty. The Kedushas Levi, Rabbi Yitzchak Berditchev, said that the samach comes before the ayin, the pei, or the tzaddik, to show that just as the samach is closed, if our eyes, ayin, and mouth, pei, are closed from inappropriate and forbidden things, then this is what will lead us to become righteous, tzedek. The Gemara Bava Metzia 85a tells us that Rabbi Zaira fasted 100 fasts to forget Talmud Bavli in order to attain a higher level of spiritual learning through Talmud Yerushalmi. So that was because I just mentioned before Talmud Bavli, Talmud Yerushalmi. So now you see it's different. Chabad.org says that Safad was one of the cities of refuge in Israel, the Uri Miklat, which I thought was interesting. I visited there along with other places in Israel. Rabbi Israel of Satanov says that redemptions that occur in the 8th year of the decade include 2448 from Egypt and entering the land of Israel 2488, and the first temple was built 2928. Just to pause to say, the Jewish calendar is different. It starts from the beginning of people, not from the beginning of one specific person, like AD or BC, right? So, and the second temple is 3408. We're currently in 57885. And catastrophes that occur also in the 8th year of the decade include the first temple being destroyed 3338, second temple being destroyed 3828, according to the Talmudic tradition that the first temple stood 410 years and the second 420 years, with a 75-year hiatus between the two. And a massacre in Polish Ukraine in 548 as a result result of Shabtai Tzvi, who he got there was like something about this bishop who died 1 month later. He immediately in the ordering bishop. So the Holy Torah was burned as a result of Shabtai Tzvi, and he got epilepsy. The one who ordered it to happen, and he died 1 month later. The entire Mishna. the Talmudic tractate in Breslov and the Tikkun Zohar, and the large edition of Shulchan Aruch. So that's what they burned, so many parts of the Torah. And 5528, the Ukrainian Haidamics and Cossacks attacked in the Ukrainian and Polish Jews, up 50 to 60,000, up to 100,000. And 6 months before Zeph, Rabbi Nachman moved from Breslov to Uman, presumably to be in the city of these martyrs. Okay, let's continue. From the circle of the Baal Shem Tov by Avraham J. Heschel, it says the daughter of the Baal Shem Tov, her name was Adel or Udul, had a daughter who married Rabbi Simcha, her son-in-law, who became her son-in-law, and their son was Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. Rabbi Simcha was the son of Rabbi Nachman of Hardenker, so that's why I mentioned the Baal Shem Tov, right? The Baal Shem Tov married the divorcee Chana, whose brother was Rabbi Gershon of Kuti, and at that time Rabbi Gershon moved to Brody, and at that time his father died. In the Shifchei HaBaal Shem Tov, it's a book of stories. There's a story where it says Rabbi Gershon struck the Baal Shem Tov even one time. They had an issue. At first, Rabbi Gershon didn't respect the Baal Shem Tov and didn't perceive his greatness and holiness, but eventually he did, and they became very close and respected each other. The sages teach that the reasons for tsaras, because I mentioned earlier the person coming to the Kohen, the priest, to look at him for leprosy. So it's in Arachin 15b and 16a in various Midrashim, it says it could be from slander, bloodshed, false oaths, pride, selfishness, robbery, sexual immorality. And talking about Eretz Yisrael, so the 10 levels of holiness in Eretz Yisrael, Mishna, because I was speaking, Mishna Kalim 1:6 quoted by Rambam, Hilchas Beis Habechira 7:13 to 22. So, we spoke about Jerusalem, right? So, we spoke about why did he have to stop learning one Talmud to learn the other? One of them was learned in Eretz Yisrael, so it's supposed to be in a higher level. So here we're going to learn about the 10 levels of holiness in Eretz Yisrael. So first is the walled cities, then the city of Jerusalem, then in the city of Jerusalem, Mount Moriah, and then the area within the surrounding rampart, the women's courtyard, the courtyard of Israelites, priestly courtyard. We're going in deeper and deeper layers. The area between the altar and the entrance hall to the sanctuary, and the building of the sanctuary, and the Holy of Holies. There's two dimensions, these two levels of holiness. Chabad.org. Each is an independent entity with laws relating to its own individual space, and two, these levels are interrelated with each other. So the lower levels depend on the higher. For example, the entire sanctity of Jerusalem and the Beis Hamikdash stems from the fact that the Holy of Holies is the resting place of the divine presence. So it's like a nest of holiness because of the central part, or that each one has its own individual sphere of holiness on its own, regardless of whether it's just because it has something deeper inside. I want to share 3 more points here. One is that Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburgh says that Adam's sin was not so much that he ate from the tree of knowledge, but that he blamed his wife for his actions. Remember earlier it was about how Rabbi Nissan Alpert teaches that you have to be able to say what you did wrong more than never sin. So it's because he blamed his wife. The most important lesson every husband should take from Adam is not to blame his wife. All the world's troubles began with blaming the woman. If Adam had spontaneously admitted his guilt, everything would have been forgiven. And then a chassid came to the Kutzker Rebbe complaining that his wife rules over him, when the Torah says a man will rule over his wife in Genesis 3:16, who replied, and the wife's urge will be for him, and he will rule over you, because he will rule if she yearns, versus if only he yearns for her. So in Niddah 31a, Rabbi Yitzchak says, in the name of Rabbi Ami, if the woman emits seed first, she births a male. If the man emits seed first, she births a female. This is during their consummation. Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburgh in Torah Chaim says the one who is attracted first is the woman. So if the husband is drawn to his wife, is his X chromosome, his inner woman is awakened to give. And if the wife is attracted first, her recessive X chromosome awakens and attracts a sperm to it with a dominant Y. So if the receiver is more open, then the dominant one can come. And then finally, Rabbi, for this video, the last thing I wanted to share was Rabbi Dr. Avraham Twerski says that astronomers speak of distances in terms of light years, and light travels at 186,000 miles a second. So light year is 5,880 billion miles. So if a galaxy is 100 billion light years away, it's 588. I don't even know how many it is. So you have let's say 1,000, then a million, then a billion, then a trillion, then the next one, and then 588 on the next one. Miles distance. Since the greatest distance most of us travel is several thousand miles in our life, these astronomical numbers have little meaning. So that is an example of a way to understand that we don't possibly need to wrap our mind around everything. And I hope that all this was interesting, and I will record a video shortly because this was really for Sunday, which I did not record a video for. But now I will record one shortly for Monday.